So I just returned from Orlando, where about 100 attorneys or so were there to meet with Max Gardner and some of the leaders in foreclosure defense from all across the country. It's an intense 2-day-long session, and during this session we discussed many and deep and intense topics regarding foreclosure defense and litigation. But one of the most exciting things to come out of this was a detailed analysis of Article 3 and Article 9 of the Uniform Commercial Code. And I got to tell you, what myself and frankly I think everybody else in that room have come to understand is that another great lie that is being perpetrated upon the American people and especially upon our court system by the banking industry is that the notes that they are using to foreclose on people and throw Americans out of their homes are negotiable instruments. The fact of the matter is they absolutely are not. They should not be allowed to foreclose simply with a blank endorsement. I know many judges have gotten queasy over this, and the judges are correct. The legal analysis simply does not support the proposition that if a bank comes into the court with a blank, undated endorsement on the back of that note, that they have the right to steal your home and throw you into the street. Now, this is an explosive topic that's going to take some time to develop. But what we all have to understand is that when finally the American people wake up and come to their senses, and when finally our court system comes to its senses, we will recognize again that the banks are stealing from us, that the banks are engaging in gross fraud and misrepresentation in courtrooms all across this country, and the end product of doing that is throwing homeowners out into the streets. There has to be a wake-up call for Americans. Americans have to get in front of our judges, and our court system have to understand what's happening here. The banking system blew up. It blew up years ago, particularly the residential mortgage lending market. And when that whole system collapsed, rather than get in front of courts and be honest and be truthful and work out some sort of equitable solution, some legal solution under the confines of a system of law, they are now presenting in front of courts these legal theories that simply do not stand up to even the most basic analysis. And this is this negotiability issue relating to the promissory notes. Again, judges and certainly lay people should and are having real problems with the concept that I hear in a courtroom that if we wave around an original promissory note, blank endorsed, regardless of who endorsed it, regardless if I've got evidence or suggestion of fraud, they still have the opportunity to throw my client out into the street. I'm here to tell you that absolutely is not the case. That is not the state of the law. However, this is the law that is being preached in courtrooms and unfortunately being accepted in courtrooms all across this country. What we all need to do is take a deep breath here. We need to formulate a battle plan. And in fact, that's what's happened this weekend, formulating battle plans. But more importantly, all Americans across this country need to understand what's happening here. The American people have been pitted against one another. In this debate and in this discussion in the preceding months, the argument has been that there are these deadbeat borrowers that we have to throw out of their homes, and somehow there were good borrowers that were going to move in. But the fact of the matter is that this is not about good borrowers or bad borrowers. This is about the banks and the institutions utilizing the government to take billions of dollars from us all, from taxpayers. The phenomenon of foreclosure sales occurring and the properties going back to banks and the banks collecting on the massive billions of dollars worth of insurance money for federally insured loans is what this is all about. The fact of the matter is that we are all just cogs in this wheel, and unfortunately the judges that are signing these foreclosure are really the ones that are the biggest ones being manipulated here, because they're signing foreclosure judgments that are resulting in banks taking properties back, that are allowing the banks to get multi-billion-dollar claims on insurance money. And again, it's the judges that are the unwilling pawns in this scheme. We all have to take a deep breath here. I'm begging that judges would stop and start thinking about this and understand that what they're doing when they're improperly giving these properties back to banks is rewarding them for criminal and improper conduct. Much more on this to come later, but gird up for the fight. There's much more coming.